Hello, now that we have completed the logic of our application and it is already functional, we are going to create a user-friendly interface. First, let's install all the libraries again in the case you are running only this part of the code. We also need to install Streamlit, .env, and local tunnel. Let's create the .env file and specify the grok API key. Then we need to create a single Python file with all the code together. So we write up2.py. We have here all the imports. We are setting the page config and title, selecting the model. In this example, we are going to use another one, DeepSeek R1. The function to load the LLM, show res, extract text PDF, config retriever, config regchain, and chat LLM. It is all the code we implemented step by step. Now we are going to type only the code related to the user interface. We are going to start by defining the input st_chat input. Enter your message here. We can perform a first test. When we run this code, the Python file is created as we can visualize in the right panel. To run Streamlit, we are going to use the same code we implemented in the other case study. We run up2, we save the logs file. We need to get the IP that is going to be used as a password in the next step. Paste the password. We have the title of the page, SafeBank support, and the input components we created is this one at the bottom of the page. To finish the execution, and let's continue implementing. We first need to check if the chat history is not in session state. If this if statement is true, it means that there is no history, so we can create it. Session state.chat history, it is equal to AI message, and the content of the message is hi, I am your virtual assistant, how can I help you? You will visualize this message in the first time you run the application. If the retriever not in session state, it means that there is no document that was processed, so we can access the session state, and the retriever session variable will be equal to none. We are initializing it. Now let's implement a for loop for message in session state chat history. We are going through each one of the messages. If is instance, if the message is an instance of a message generated by AI, so we are going to create a chat message component of Streamlit. This code will start a balloon where the AI response will be displayed. And then we are going to write a message, message.content. elif is instance of human message. If it is a message typed by the user, we access the component chat message human st.write message content. When we open the application, it is already possible to see the AI message. We can send a message in the input box. It is already possible to visualize the initial message of the system. Basically, this for loop will go through all the messages and write them, separating them by human and artificial intelligence. If input is not known, input is the chat text box at the bottom of the page. If it is different from known, so we can access the chat message component, specify that it is a human message, and we call markdown function to write the message on the screen. When we type a message, it is printed in the chat message component of Streamlit. So now we have a kind of conversation. With st.chat message, now we are going to verify if it is an artificial intelligence message. If it is true, we need to access the session state retriever, and we are going to verify if it is known. See here that we initialized as known at the beginning of the execution. If this condition is true, then we need to execute all the indexing and retrieving processes. So we access retriever and call the function config retriever, sending the path as parameter. After that, we need to create the regchain config regchain, and we send the algorithm, and also we get from the session the retriever that is created here. And finally, res, we call chat LLM function, we send the regchain as well as the input, and at the end we write the message of the algorithm. And that's it for this implementation. Let's run this code again and perform some tests. Paste the password and let's ask the following. Hello, how do I change my password? The first question will take a while because it requires all the reg steps. And the next question should be faster because we have programmed it to avoid unnecessary processing. See here that we have the answer. Let's try another one. How do I recover my access? Here is the answer based on the PDF. And finally, how can I request a physical card? And here is the answer. That's all for this lecture, that we have finished the implementation of the case study about customer service and support. See you next time!